All right, how you doing? I am the XD, and once again, this is the C4 movement and presents Open Book. I'm joined once again with Glo and protecting Black women. We're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna get into it. Okay, this is what I've seen concerning this particular topic. Everybody know about the Megan Thee Stallion case where she was purportedly shot. And of course, with this type of case, with them being artists, people have their comments. I was recently watching Joe Budden. He made some comments about her, like saying he doesn't really deal with her because he felt that she's been rude to people he know. So apparently, on Fox Soul, Vivica Fox, another lady I don't really know her name, has some comments about him. Now, Vivica Fox said, "Joe, you need to sit your bitch ass down. You just mad that women running hip hop," which has nothing to do with it. But it made me think about something. Would she say that in his face? And if she does say it in his face, he gets upset and he's slapping her mouth. Every male in the area is supposed to get up and defend her. Am I right or wrong?
I would say they would, in a sense that he hit her first. Like, had she hit him, that'd be different. Your words and your hands are two separate things. So,
Okay, but here's
for that.
Here's the thing. When we talk about your words, physically, in some case, most cases, women are not stronger than men. In some cases, there are cases where you might get a scene of warrior princess that knock you out. But in most cases, men are a lot stronger than women. So a woman, talking crazy like that might provoke the wrong man to slap her in her mouth.
But now, we gotta agree that's self-control. I don't care what was said. He chose to hit her.
True. If he chose, but you got to understand, this is one thing that I've noticed. With women not being as strong as men, the one thing y'all do have over us is that mouth. A woman can say some of the coldest things to you that hurt your feelings to get you to the point of, oh, I think I might have to choke a chick. And that does come with control. But here's the thing, though. Let's say it was another man, a man that said that, "Joe, you need to sit Joe down." Right then and there, we know, okay, it's going to be a fight. Now, my next example, it was this other interview, I believe was on the Jumpman podcast, where these two guys were talking. He was like, "I'm better than you," or something, and he called him a bitch. Dude was like, "Oh, what did you say?" He said, "I called you a bitch." Dude stands up, punches him in his face repeatedly, had him leaking. Because that's the expectation when it comes as a man. We know that if it's two men going back and forth, there is a possibility of physical contact. When a man and woman goes back and forth, she can say whatever it is she wants to say, and I'm just supposed to take it because I'm a man. I'm supposed to be the stronger of the two. So I'm supposed to have a little bit more control than her. Here's my other example. If you remember back a couple months back, the airport incident with the guy and the lady.
Yeah.
She was cussing him out. He's like, "Man, whatever." But then when somebody stepped in, she decided, "I'm going to give me a little tap in." Guy steps in, she swings, hit the guy. He moves the guy out of the way, and he gives her a little Ray Lewis clip, and she falls and busts her face.
I think the only difference in this case, with this one and other ones, she actually hit him first. I don't agree with violence in any sort unless self-defense, or if you know what you're setting up for, right? If I know that by hitting you, you're going to hit me back, I signed up for it. Better yet, in this day and age, I don't even know if you're going to hit me back or not. If I hit you first, whatever happens, happens, right? So in this case, the airport situation, she did swing first. Could he have walked away before she hit him? Sure. But he didn't. She didn't. That happened how it happened. In every other case, it was words, then hands. Where this was hands and whatever happened next. So I feel like that's different, but
I guess the point I'm trying to get to, and I'm trying to is when it comes to protecting Black women.
Mhm.
Let's say I'm gonna give you another example to make it make sense the way I felt it made sense.
Mhm.
You're a celebrity. I'm your bodyguard. It's like, okay, ma'am, as we're going to this building, I understand you got to walk the red carpet. We're going to need you to just do 2 minutes with the fans, and we're going to need you to move along so we can get you to your seat without any issue.
Mhm.
But you get to the red carpet, and it's like, you know what? I want to stay out here and take these pictures with my fans. I want to sign autographs. I want to do this. I want to do that. Well, ma'am, I've set a arrangement of protection for you. We need you to follow it.
Mhm.
See, once she does that, she comes from under the umbrella of protection, and she's doing what she wants to do.
Mhm.
Now, how I bring that back together in protecting Black women, I see that a lot. When it comes to our Black women, they do a lot of things that goes against the protection of what we are able to do, and then turn to us and is like, well, I need your defense. It's like you can see a Black woman going out somewhere,
Mhm.
and I'm talking about Black women. I'm dealing with our own. I know we can make it about every woman, but I'm talking about us because that's the statement we hear a lot: protect Black women.
Mhm.
But you can go to a store and you can see a man and a woman arguing, and she's pushing on him, she's hitting on him. You keep poking the bear, he's going to react. And when he reacts, now everybody else around is like, okay, now we got to put that animal down because he hit this woman. But it's like, wait a minute, that woman went after that man.
Mhm.
Or another case, and I'm gonna use a personal example. My daughter moved out. She moved out. I don't know what's going on with her out there in the world because she decided to move out and do her own thing. She feels she's an adult and she moves out. She's now no longer under my protection. She's able to do whatever it is she's going to do. Something happens to her, I can't properly protect her because she's not here.
Right.
And I feel like that's the point that a lot of women are missing. If you want Black men to protect you, you got to be in line with us. You got to be in line with the protector so you can be protected. If you are not, there's going to be a bunch of confusion. Just another case that was it's in the news now. A woman was at the airport, went crazy because she couldn't find her kids.
I saw that.
Tore everything up. So she went crazy because her kids were not under her umbrella for protection, and she blamed everybody else around her. Kind of find out her kids were just in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
But the way she reacted was childish. But that's my point. It's like we are told consistently, you got to protect our sisters, man. We got to protect our Black women. But nowadays, a lot of Black women are moving in a way where it's too difficult to protect y'all.
Good points. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking down because I'm typing these notes so I can hit your points. My bad. Give me a second.
That's
okay,
fine.
so being in the education field, I try to teach all my students certain things. I work in high school, so teaching them now before they become adults how things work, and I try to give them to them real without going overboard because they only know so much, right? You don't want to overwhelm them with the information you're going to give them. But I always preach this to my students and to my staff: proactive versus reactive, right? You want to get ahead of the problem as opposed to trying to fix the problem. Yeah. So as you said all that, her being under your protection, her not doing, something to stay safe. A way to be proactive is to teach. You teach your woman that this is safety to me. This is what I see as safety. She might, that's not safety to me. You teaching her, and it's not saying, sit down, woman, listen to me. It's, hey, baby, let me talk to you for a minute. Remember how we did this and this and this? The reason I did this was because of this, right? You're teaching her how you move, why you move that way, and why it's important. If I'm telling you, I'm a woman, but if my man was to tell me, baby, I'm walking behind you because I want to see what's coming up behind us. If I'm walking in front of you, this is why I'm doing this. When I open the door and you walk in first, I'm checking out behind me. I'm like, well, come with me, walk with me in the door. No, I'm behind you for a reason. Or if he's telling me I'm sitting facing the door because I'm watching for trouble, he's protecting his black woman by watching out for her. He might not watch out for everybody. He might, but the first line is, I said, protect your black woman, right? You're not Superman. You can't protect everybody, and every woman ain't yours to protect. However, when you teach her, and you said your daughter, I love that example too, because you teach your woman differently than teach your daughter, or even your younger sister or a cousin or whoever. Same difference. As a man, you teach her ways, maybe not all the tricks and tips, because some stuff's for y'all, but you teach her what to look out for. You teach her, so you protecting her before she even needs it. That makes sense. Like you preparing her for the way. You're worried that she's going out here and could be harmed, or somebody could, do something to her. Show her how it's done, so you don't gotta worry that she ain't gonna do it right.
Right.
Show her, teach her, be gentle with her, but understand, be firm. This is how it is, and show your woman the same kind of level of respect. Obviously, you find a woman that's going to listen to you, right? Because we talk about all the time, women don't want to follow the leader. Nah, I'm going to follow the leader that leads me. It's a lot of leaders, but it's not going to work for me.
And here's the thing with that. I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm also looking at it in the way of, especially how I am and how I know most men are. Most men are, when we talk about protection, we're focused one way. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Now you're saying, talk to them in a way they understand. A lot of times when it comes to direction, especially when it comes to direction about protection, there isn't a soft way of saying it. Well, let's take this time where, you know what, I know you want to go left, but right is the good way to go. If you go right, everything's going to be A-okay. No, it's like, no, we need you to go left. Because if you go right, something may happen, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, what I'm seeing when it comes to protecting black women, now I'm going to go down this road, and I know our viewers may not like it, and you probably may not like it. And I dealt with this situation with the woman I was talking to. Bad body. So we go out, and you wearing the skimpiest things. We go out, and somebody decides, you walk past them, they decide to put their hands on you. And she got a big old butt. Let me pinch it when she walked by. Or let me make some obscene comments to her. Now, as a man, if I don't address those situations, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, as a woman, you won't feel protected.
So yes, however, I said about the teaching part again. I guess is where I'm at. When I think about a unit, right? So me and my partner are a unit. Yes, he protects me, but I protect him, right? I cannot be the weak link here, because what happens if he protected me and they jumping him? Now I'm sitting here, I'm legit out here just stranded. I got to be able to hold my own too. So if the skimpy clothes coming out, right? Me personally, I honestly feel, and I feel this way about lots of things. If it happens to me, I'm the one to address it. And if it doesn't work out, then my man takes over. So same with, it was a different subject, but same difference. If a woman's approaching my man, I'm right there. Ooh, handsome, how you doing? I don't step up and tell her back off. He tells her to back off because she's talking to him. Now, if he tell what he said and she didn't listen, it's my turn. Hey, how you doing, boo? I like your dress. You, my husband? Yeah, this him. Okay, see you later. So it's the person who's happening to, and you are backup. Honestly, and if you teach me that softness I'm talking about happens before the emergency. You're not in emergency saying, baby, we gotta go. It's a fire. No, you telling her that beforehand or after. So yeah, you snatch her body there, we gotta go. And after, you know why I took you out? Because I saw something you didn't see. You always gotta be with somebody who trusts you. If they don't trust you, no matter what you say, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
The thing is though, and I definitely agree with what you're saying, but you're coming from a mature level of understanding within being in a relationship where there's communication to protect both of you, regardless of where you're at and what's going on, which I think is very smart. How are we going to be able to make sure we both good when we go out to come back home together?
Mm-hmm.
But what we're seeing is a lot of, I see out when I go out, when I see people in outings and everything, they're conducting themselves differently.
Mm-hmm.
And then they turn around and it's like, well, you're supposed to protect me. Situations that arise when it comes to the police. We all know when something happens with a police officer, follow directions, then you might get put in cuffs. But just because they put you in cuffs doesn't mean you're being arrested. You're just being detained.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people with the fear of being hurt and, the certain deaths that happen in police custody and police dealing with police in general, they automatically rah, rah, rah. Now, difference is sometimes our sisters would get the head wagging and finger, you ain't gonna put your mother hands on me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, hold on, baby, relax. Relax, let me deal with this. No, 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 no. Now you're talking out of turn. Now I gotta be able to calm you down so I can deal with the officer. But the officer is going to focus on your attitude and how you're acting because he's going to treat you as a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was an example that everybody's most hated man, he's no longer here, Kevin Samuels, made when he was talking to a woman. He said, asked a woman, if someone were to break into our house,
Mm-hmm.
where would you be? And the lady was like, I'm going to be right there next to my man. We're going to defend our house. And he said, no, your place should be, if we have children, be with the children or be in a place where you are away from whatever's going on. Because if you come into what's going on, I'm going to be worried about protecting you instead of protecting myself, and I will get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
See, like I said, your examples were great because they dealt with communication and understanding within a relationship. And I feel like that's a must, especially if you're talking about long term with someone. We need to know how we're gonna move so we can grow and be able to protect one another.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't see that a lot, especially with our sisters that could be out there in big groups of women.
Mm-hmm.
They do something, and then the first thing they do is they turn to the black man that's around. Why you ain't do nothing?
Mm-hmm. I get that 100%. And I'll say it again, whether relationship, friendship, anything dealing with the man or woman, if she's not willing to listen to you or learn from you, I don't know what you got for her. Because, and vice versa, because I'm in this position, we're talking about protecting a woman. So obviously we're talking about what he could do for her or provide for her, especially when men are seen as the protector and the providers. So he's supposed to provide not just financially, but emotionally and mentally. How is he preparing her for those things? How is he getting her ready? If she not listening, then you wasting your breath, And a large crowd, I agree with you. That's dangerous and hard to keep up with. Security is supposed to be there to protect everybody, right? Men and women. The male security aren't there just to get the women safety, even though history shows us women are delicate, right? We're fragile. Yet somehow black women have become this strong, independent thing. So people don't protect us because they don't see us as fragile anymore.
Because of that.
Yeah. So it's difficult for women who are soft, who are gentle, who are needing of protection or wanting of care to get it, because y'all lump us together in one big pot. Oh, that's a black woman. She's gonna be hostile. You don't even know. And if I'm being attacked, being abused, I would look for help, whether it be a man, a woman, black, white, green. I don't want to be just beat. So when I say protect black women, it's like, honestly, there is a little clause. Protect them if they're right. And I hate to say that because, if they're in the wrong, if you start the fight, how am I protect you? Am I supposed to? You did it.
But that's my point. Mm-hmm. A lot of men have lost their lives or been locked up based off the actions of a woman being out of the lane that she's supposed to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And we see it a lot. Oh, you gonna call me a B? I'm gonna go get my cousin. Now your cousin who's sitting at home probably playing Madden, eating a pancake, gotta worry about you calling. So called me on my name, so he gotta go up there. Okay, you called my cousin a B. Now I gotta fight you, or you probably gonna kill me, or I kill you. We go to jail, all because she was offended because she got mad at somebody and her emotions took over.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
That's like the protection that I always see. I was even in a situation one time talking to a woman, and she was telling me that her guy was beating on her. I was like, you know what? Hey, I understand that's a lot to go through. If you ever need somebody to talk to, you can call me. She goes back to tell him, and I said I wanted to see him. If he was to ever put her hands on her, I was gonna come and see him. We were in high school at the time. He comes up to the school with his people right after school. A cousin of mine goes and finds me. He's like, this dude's around here looking for you. So I'm like, who? What's going on? Right. Okay. At the time, my sister was a cheerleader, and her cheerleading coach was a police officer. So she found out about it. She come in the middle, break it all up. Everybody, I guess their people knew her, broke it up. I'm like, this chick went and told him some stuff that made this man come after me. Funny thing about it, I'm riding home. Me and my boy are riding home, and I see them walking together. I'm like, heck no, pull over, because I'm not going to be looking over my back over something that I didn't say because somebody wanted to use me as a way to stop getting licks from her man. So I pull over. I walk up to him. Oh shoot. He going, he tripping because now I got on man to man. It's different when you had your boys behind you versus now you got to deal with me man to man.
Right.
But my point is with that is protecting Black women. Sometimes women put us in a bad position, but still expect us to provide that protection that they need to be able to function, or they be able to function within society. And one thing they do it, and you brought it up, that I'm an independent Black woman. I'm an independently strong Black woman. When women say that to a man, coming from a man's point of view, you telling me you don't need me. You telling me you don't need my protection, you don't need my presence unless you want it. So I'm not going to be putting my life on the line for somebody who treats me like an option. So Andre the Giant want to squish you because you shaking your head. Go ahead and sit on her a couple of times. See you can flatten that attitude out.
Wait. No.
You're independent.
Honestly, okay, so I'm really over that saying, and strong independent woman, because y'all not called independent men. Don't y'all do everything by yourself? Independent means without others needing something, right? You can go to work independently. I go to work independently. I pay my bills independently, and so do you. So why call me independent? I get it. Your example was her calling herself independent. But in reality is, why are we calling ourselves independent when so are the men? They're not calling themselves independent. They're doing the exact same thing we doing. Taking care of business. We are adults taking care of our own business. Now, I mentioned before, I probably reposted or posted stuff before. There are women who say that because it sounds good at first, right? I'm strong and independent. I don't need nobody, because no one has been there for them. It's not necessarily saying I don't need you. It's saying I haven't had anybody. It's not saying that if you won't come along and show me that I don't have to do that I won't do it. If you come along and provide those things for me, and again, you don't have to provide anything unless you want to or it makes sense to you. But if you were to come along and provide her with these certain things, if she's willing, you'll see her soften up. She don't need to do all that if she has someone in her corner that she can trust and can depend on. A lot of independent women don't want to be that way, but we've had to be that way. And I say some because I can't speak for everybody, but when you want a certain lifestyle, when you want a husband and a family and things to take care of you, you're not going to be hollering independent because you don't want to be, but you feel like you have to be. That's just like young men who raised in a certain way, right? They go around, I'm a thug, I'm a gangster, I'm tough, but they at home and speaking sweet nothing to their girl. And they simping for somebody. No, they got to be tough on the outside because that's how everybody told them to be. We're being independent and strong and not needing y'all because that's how we've had to be. We don't necessarily want this. And I'm going to speak for some of us. Some of us probably do want that. I don't know. But that's become their identity. They don't know nothing else besides that. That's who they are. That's what makes life look different for them,
When I hear that, and we're talking about protecting Black women, this is what I hear from a man's point of view. When he says, you know what, I get up every day and take my kids to school. I fix my kids' lunch. I fix my kids' dinner. It's like, dude, that's what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So when I hear independent women, I got my own car, I got my own house. It's like, ma'am, that's what you're supposed to do. So you're
It
just
is.
highlighting your you're just highlighting the things you do as an adult, and you're just making it bigger than what it is. Like, ma'am, that's what you're supposed to do.
True. And on the same sense, though, think of those who are stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home wives. They're not claiming that because they not. They don't have to. They're not the ones taking their kids to school every day. Maybe not, right? They don't have to claim what we claim. And I say we because I'm a single woman. I'm not married or anything like that. So we don't have the same things going on. So independent woman is doing everything while a housewife may not be doing everything, right? Her husband takes care of some of that stuff. So she's not claiming the same thing. So maybe independent woman is a cry for, I want somebody else to do it, but right now I have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there could be multiple ways of saying that. Why I'm saying what I'm saying, you know?
I just feel like it shouldn't be something that should be said
True,
because
but it's kind of
it's
hard to do.
very, huh?
I agree with you, but it's hard to change it. They've been saying it forever. Just like not seeing black people as thugs. It's hard not to think that way, right? We
And
know it's not true, but it's stuck. It's there. What do we do
it's
now?
so annoying
Mhm.
because, and we've talked about this before. It's like if you're on a dating profile and a woman puts her bio says, "I'm a strong, independent black woman. I got 3 kids, and my kids are my world." Everything you just said kind of made it like, why would I even talk to you?
Mhm.
You're an independent black woman. You okay? She does everything she's supposed to do. Oh, my kids are my world. Oh, so I guess you don't have time for me because your kids are your everything, is what you're telling me.
Mhm.
And I'm not finna be in competition with no kids.
Mhm.
So it's like, and we hear this within our community though. That's the thing. That's what makes it so, like, you look like, why are we always saying that? Why are our women so quick to tell us they're independent? Why are our women always quick to get on us about protecting them, but yet they are never in line with us?
Mhm.
Like, even with the whole manosphere thing, conversations that came out, Kevin Samuels, all those type of guys talking about how men feel about different things. It's created this little civil war between black men and women. But the one thing that is consistent through all this is nobody's listening to one another.
Mhm.
I can watch one thing I watch is Lapeef Network, and they have a panel, and you can tell a woman on there is like, well, most men feel like this. Well, I don't want no man to do this or this. He's like, well, ma'am, what I'm telling you is from a man's point of view, we feel like ABC, but
Mhm.
you want to focus on XYZ because it applies to you.
Mhm.
It doesn't work that way. And I feel like that with a lot of things, especially when it comes to talking and having conversations with women, it's if I take you off of your comfort zone to be in line with me so I can properly be there for you and protect you. Now I'm controlling. Now
Mhm.
I'm trying to take advantage of you. I'm trying to make you do this and make you do that. But it's like, ma'am, no, for us to dwell together, I need to make room for you to be in your femininity so you can be the woman you want to be. So you don't have to be the independent woman feeling like you have to do everything. But at the same time, as a man, you need to allow me that same area to feel like a man so I can properly protect you. So within myself, I know that my woman is protected and cared for versus her doing X, Y, and Z and thinking like, okay, yep, I just got 2 good thugs wanting to punch me in my face because I called one of them a B and I slapped the other one. Let me call my man so he can come over here and defend my honor.
Well, let's hope you never got that far with her, because again, you can kind of tell a woman's character and how she moves early on in the situation, you know, even before a relationship happens. So honestly, I just wrote down, I wish we never talked about this on podcasts. That whole, what do you bring to the table, what kind of man do you like, what kind of woman do you like, because this honestly has opened Pandora's box, and there will never be an agreement. I want you to know that there will never be an agreement from all men and all women, because You already mentioned with Kevin Samuels. There are people who like him, people who don't like him, people who listen to certain podcasts, and some who don't agree with them. You know what I mean? Some who agree with Meg, some who agree with Tori. Right? You will never be on the same page as a whole. However, when I said I put in capital letters here. Your people, as in the people in your circle. We can't want for everyone online, everyone in our city, everyone in the area who's black to agree with us. There are so many different types of black men, let alone black types of black women. We'll never be on the same page because there are some black men who enjoy the loud, independent, and I say loud, but I mean like, because that could be a term, right? That's also bad when we don't want to be called
She
loud.
aggressive.
But the women who are maybe more outgoing than others, right? Some who wear skimpy clothes, that's their business. There's some men who like that and some men who don't. So for me, I really hope that people don't go into it looking to get those women and make them into the woman they want them to be. You got to find that woman who's already in line, because you say you want her to get in line. Women don't like hearing that either.
Yep.
You know? And I like to say being in tune with somebody. You know, you ever had what was that?
That's that it's not how you said it, it's what you said.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I believe that wholeheartedly. However, again, you said about being mature and being understanding, you know what a person's trying to say, or at least you try to, you infer. If I don't like what you said, I'm gonna ask you, what do you mean by in line with you? Like, sir, I'm over here, you over there, we okay? You know? Right. But if you explain your part, I want you to be in line so I can protect you. If you're not here, I can't do it. Oh, I see what you mean now. As opposed to just hearing you say, be in line with what I want. Oh, you want to be in control. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you want protection. I'm trying to give it, but you got to be here. That I don't know if you've had one of them sliding closet doors. Man, that thing stayed off the hook for me, off the rack, the tracks, whatever. I took it off. My closet's open now. But being in line, if them tracks don't line up, that door doesn't close. It doesn't open. It doesn't operate correctly. And you can't make that door get on there by being mean to it. You gotta get it in line. You gotta have the right parts. You gotta be able to grease it if you need to, put a little oil on it. You know, so I mean, I speak for that, and I mean that wholeheartedly. I won't say most. Some women enjoy being talked to softly. I'm not saying that you can't talk to somebody a certain way. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. But from my experience, I'm telling you, you can get a lot more by speaking to someone softly. And I don't mean, would you like to go on a date? Sweetheart, how do you feel? I don't mean like that. I don't mean walk all over you, whatever you like. No, just not no harsh, like, girl, I'm gonna do this because you're supposed to do this. You know, it's like a middle ground in between. Same with y'all. Tell me that you won't want your woman to talk to you gently.
Yeah, I would. I want a woman to talk to me the way that women would talk to a man. And that's the way I envisioned it. Mm-hmm. But when you dealing with women to be like, yo, that's my boy, that's my brother. I'm like,
but see, that means you're looking for a certain kind of woman, because see, I like being
well, I'm talking about, you know, some women do speak like that, but I'm talking about the aggressive nature of that, where it's like this like a woman can be my female friend, and we have that type of view. That's my sister, you know, we cool. But then you get to the certain women that can be overly aggressive, and it's like, are you sure you're into guys, or are you a butch? You know.
Again, you're looking for a certain type, and I feel like that's okay to have the type that you're looking for. Just know that that's what you're looking for, and anything else is not going to do for you. That's fine. And that's same for me. I'm not going to deal with the man who's talking to me any kind of way. And it's not to say he has to change his talk for me. I want somebody who already does that. Or if I'm saying, I don't understand that, can you explain to me differently? I want a man who's like, you know what? I got you. As opposed to, you don't get it? Oh, you're just a dumb woman. Oh, right. I bet if you were somebody else, you would understand it. I bet if it was in a rap song, you would understand it. You know, I need a different kind of guy. So same thing. And I do think that protecting a black woman is multiple levels to it. Because like I say, teaching her, even protecting her body, right? Like her temple, you know what I'm saying? Eating right, exercising.
Yep.
Even right now, a guy tells a woman, you know, baby, let's work out. You call me fat. You know, I get it, but
even when I date, I always bring that up. Like, hey, getting ready to go to the gym to see
Mm-hmm.
how they will feel about that. Okay, he's athletic. He's going to make me work out. And usually, when you can tell when it's kind of bothers, like, oh, I was going to go out to eat. Now they feel a little bit insecure, saying they want to go eat because, like, oh, he's into the gym, he's into working out, he cares about how his body is.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's intimidating because he gonna see my role and think, oh,
I mean, yeah. So that's one aspect. I honestly have stayed away from some gym goers too, but only because they seemed really strict about it, as if I couldn't have a day off from it, or it was gonna be our lifestyle. Like that's the only thing you talk about is health and working out. I'm like, if I don't want a day off, I'm a day off, or if I don't want to work out the way you want to work out, then I might avoid you. But so it does take a certain. But I like what you said, telling her I'm going. Want to join me?
right.
As opposed to, we should work out. Or, girl, that's third time you ate out this week. You think you should hit the gym
Right.
first? It's all of that. But protecting her physical, right? Making sure she's in shape or at least conscious of it, right? Her mind. Are you guys reading together? Are you, protecting what she knows from the media? You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say he's controlling her social media, but finding someone who maybe is not so social media addicted, if that's not what you want. Protecting her everything, so it goes on multiple levels of protection and protecting her dignity by not posting embarrassing things about her or talking bad about her to other people. You know what I'm saying? So when I think of protection, I think of all the way around. Protecting her from heartbreak by being gentle with her, right? Protecting her from aggressiveness by being gentle, by just talking to her. Now obviously, like we do, and I'm not calling women kids, but like we do with our children, you talk to them one way, they don't get it, you talk to them another way. You give them
But
examples, you show them different ways of how to do it, and if you can adjust, how you want her to adjust.
but that's the thing. That's the key thing right there. You gave out great examples on how we as men can do things for women about communication, getting understanding. But rarely do we see women do things for men to make sure that they are lined up or they're coming together to be able to where they can protect one another.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, it's just the climate that we're in. Everything, when it's men and women, everything is just so aggressive. Everybody is so paranoid to deal with one another.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you go out and you see a woman, be like, hey ma'am, how you doing? What you want?
Mm-hmm.
It's immediately aggressive, immediately feeling like, okay, this man who's speaking to me wants something. He's just wants, my body or something. He was checking me out. It's immediately defensive. And I deal with that a lot. I'll be at work. You see people like, hello, how you doing? Make sure I use my manners. I don't know you. I was raised to show respect. But when I'm noticing, it's like, dang, girl, you got a fat ass. Oh, you. And it's like, oh, okay. And it's like different women look at things in different ways and have to be approached different ways. Like, my respect could be looked at as disrespect to another woman.
Mm-hmm.
But I was taught and I'm brought up in this protect the black woman.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of black women like, oh, I don't need nobody to protect me. And then when something happens, they need it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's back going, just went through all that and we went back to the beginning.
So I agree with you. And these podcasters, right? So I think the next question could be for everybody, to the black woman. How do you want to be protected? How can we protect you when you're not in our area? How can we protect you when you are, I don't want to say out of line, but out of balance, right? Because again, out of line, or they a kid now, disciplinary, you know what I'm saying? But again, the terms are important. I like what you said about women. A lot of times we do talk about protecting the black women. And if you want to do a part 2, protecting the black man, I'll agree with you 100%. And just for a few pieces, it's because you say that, and it's very true that maybe it's not talked about more, but women are definitely out here doing for they black men. I saw a couple of things. I'm not sure if I shared it with you. I might have, but about black men and mental health, right? Men's mental health, and the idea that people men are expected to do so much for their family, and they don't always get the the recognition. They don't get the encouragement. They don't get the thanks for it, right? And they gotta deal with their problems and their family's problems, and so men go quiet when they need help. Twitch, the dancer, who died of suicide. There were others, but that was most recent in my mind. We don't know what he was dealing with, but if someone would have reached out, or someone would have spoke to him, and not saying his wife wasn't doing enough, we don't know, I don't know, but for me and the women that I have encountered as friends, we check on a black man in our lives. We ask, how you doing? You talk about something, and not to be prying. Obviously, you don't want to get too much in their business, but ask, did you eat today? How are you doing? Or those women who like to cook, they just bring a plate over. Don't even ask if they need it. I'm practicing my cooking, so that ain't always everybody's specialty, but a listening ear, a conversation piece, sending a post on Instagram about something else, speaking about therapy, right? Because as women, we don't know what you guys need, and vice versa, right? You might not know what we need exactly, but to be that person in that black man's corner, hey, I see you had a long day, let me help you. When you get off, come by the house, I got something for you. And that could be for anybody, right? Family, friends, your loved one. It's just a matter of looking out for that black man when nobody else will. We talk about the police interactions, right? They had things a long time ago when you would see somebody get pulled over who was normally a black man, to pull over and wait to watch and make sure that he got home safely, to make sure the police didn't go crazy on or whatever. I don't see that happening too often, but again, I'm not really watching for it online either. But when you see young black people get into something, as older black, when I say older, we're not teenagers, right? If we see teenagers in a mall or something and something's a little fishy, do you kind of slow down and watch for it, making sure they're good? Or I saw a couple walking, they were following these two young black guys home because someone else had harassed them down the street. They made sure they got home safely. To me, that's protecting the black people, protecting people that look like you. You're in a restaurant somewhere being treated unfairly, and someone black steps in and go, hey, yo, that's not what we're doing here. That's what I think about protecting others and things like that. Granted, I get what you're saying too. The folks who want to kick and scream, don't want to be protected, don't protect them. Y'all playing a game of laser tag and they jump out in front of the target. I can't save you. I mean, I guess I could in front of you, but now I'm gone. But I think it does go both ways. And for me, when I said I wish we never talked about it openly like this, because these conversations should be had with you and the person you want to be intimate with. You and your small village, or big village, whatever, your people are, because our opinions differ so much, right? Christmas season just passed, and parents are debating if they should tell their kids about Santa Claus or not. It's a big debate. They are legit upset that they are not telling their kids about Santa. Same way about black women and black men. Some stuff shouldn't be had out in public. These conversations are unnecessary because it won't change your mind. You and your tribe, you and your village should be having these conversations. This is how we gonna run ours. And if somebody listens to you, then y'all spread it to them. But social media is not the platform. It's not always a platform to spread the message, because it's going to get misconstrued. You're going to be judged. It's going to be picked apart, and your message is not going to get heard. You're going to be, like you said, it's going to seem like you're trying to control them. It's going to seem like you're judging them. It's going to seem like all kind of stuff, when in reality, that little clip you put online is not enough to describe what you're trying to say. So I wish we never brought this conversation to social media, because we could have so much more conversation between each other. You can tell people, hey, you're doing a little too much. To your female cousins, hey, when y'all go out, do y'all do this? Y'all know how y'all look to other people? I'm a guy. I'm not a guy. What you say? I'm a guy. As a guy, this is how it looks to me. And if you can influence your family, if you can influence your friends, that's where your protection starts. You can't protect every black woman you see. That's just how it is. And that's I keep thinking about that, because it's like, we do want to protect each other, and even women, right? Women protect women. When I see a lone black girl go to the bathroom, I'm watching, especially if somebody look creepy around her. I don't know her, she don't know me, But as a black woman, I know what can happen. Shoot, as a woman in general, right? I'm watching that junk like if she don't come out, I'm going in. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I would want that to be done for me, right? I want somebody to look out for me. If I'm being harassed by somebody, I want a black guy to come up and pretend he my boyfriend or something, so they'll leave me alone. That's the kind of protecting I think about. Now we may not hit it off, but in that moment he protected me. In that moment, or somebody walked me outside to my car. In that moment he protected me. It may not be forever, but protecting black women, I think, is an ongoing situation. It's got to evolve. It cannot look the same.
All right. And that note, I want to thank Glo for coming in, talking about protecting black women. And we definitely got to get into protecting black men because there's a lot that goes with us. And this has been the C4 movement. I am the XD, and I'll catch you guys next time.